What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week Zero podcast.
Jackson rolling out, 3rd and 7 after the penalty, and it's a completion to Kuma. He's still running. Kuma breaks free against a tired defense as the Hokies deliver the dagger here in Tallahassee. Empty look for Richardson. Oh, that is danger! Oh my! Keidron Smith cuts inside, and he's gonna pick six it in the swamp. Cat scratch fever Smith.
B10 is picked off, intercepted again by Benjamin Morrison. Here goes Morrison down the sideline. Can he go? Yes, he can. Touchdown, pick six, Benjamin Morrison. Nix drops back underneath. Touchdown, Ducks. Wow. Chase Taylor.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Week Zero podcast. Why is Ryan on here twice? Oh, okay.
He's also muted.
He muted himself for once. I'm not the one muted. Let's go.
No. I was doing something, but go ahead.
Okay, welcome back. It's been a long time since we've, 2-3 weeks? I don't even know.
2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks.
Feels like it's been a very long time. This week went by very fast. But anyway, I am Top Lift Box / what the fuck is Virginia Tech? Of course, to my left is Ryan. Notre Dame is not relevant travel.
Quit it.
Below me is just Josh Bryant because he's too lazy to come up with a clever nickname.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. I'll change it here in a minute. They can't see it anyways.
That's true. We never could. So, how you guys doing?
Doing good. Just came back from a week-long vacation from Orlando, Florida. So that was
I hate you.
nice
I'm
to
jealous.
get away from the cold in Illinois and being 80 degrees every single day.
What was the temperature? What's the temperature right now in Illinois?
Right. Today was actually 50, so that's actually pretty warm for right now.
It was 75 here yesterday.
It's
for a little bit in
30
Wilmington.
today. So, but hey, you know what? What also was nice is I walked 26 miles in 2 days, Universal Studios. So I was like,
That
Me
is
and
hard to believe.
no, I do. I do. I
No,
couldn't.
no. Just because of who you are, that's hard to believe.
No,
Just because of our experience with you walking
Yeah.
across Notre Dame.
Dude, no, I'm not even joking. Me and my fiance, we walked so much that I've got like bubbles on my feet.
You got the blisters. Oh god.
Yes.
Actually, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a fun
It's
week,
actually pretty
but
bad.
yeah, I miss Florida already.
Don't move
Yeah.
there. It actually sucks living there long term. It's only okay going in short little bursts of 1 to 2 weeks of vacation time, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like everybody likes going down there in the winter and the nice vacation time. Nobody
You say
wants to
that-
be around when hurricanes come around.
No, exactly. That's what you do. You become an old white person from New England who goes down there. during the
Snowbirds,
winter,
man. They're
and then
snowbirds.
They're snowbirds. That's what my grandparents did. They would go down to Florida, and then they would rotate between. They had a house in Montana and a place out north of Boston, and so
Oh,
sometimes they'd
man.
be in Boston, to be in Florida for a little bit, for a while, and then be up in Massachusetts for the summer, and then be out in Montana for like a month or two.
Wow. That's amazing. Sports.
Anyways, guys,
Sports.
we
Yes, very much sports.
We're 5
We are
minutes
gonna
into
be
the
doing-
show, and
we are gonna be-
we're gonna be talking. Hold on, let me do this. We're gonna be talking about two things today, some fun stuff. Main thing we're talking about, and I think that's the reason we have 10 viewers right now, is the rumors surrounding Notre Dame joining the Big Ten. We'll get into that, and then a little later in the show, we'll do our top 5 highest rated teams for EA Sports upcoming NCAA 25 video game.
And we also, I thought we were doing individual
We're
players.
doing teams now.
We're gonna do teams just because we don't have everyone here, and Josh didn't do his homework. So
I came up with mine in 5. I did mine in 5 minutes, so I don't know if that's holding you back.
All right, Mr. Perfect.
all right.
What?
Well, let's get into this real quick.
Fine, that's what we're doing like next time or something.
Rumor is Connor. I swear to God.
I'm the host. I should be the one saying this. Okay, Notre Dame to the Big Ten. Is that a good thing? Is it not?
Well, let me get into the details real quick. So this rumor came out this week. Everyone's been talking about it. Evidently, NBC and Notre Dame just recently, agreed to an extension to their contract to have all the Notre Dame home games on NBC and all that stuff, right? Well, those things are not public. When Notre Dame signs that stuff, because they are a private institution, they don't have to give out the revenue or anything like that, any deals they do. Well, according to people on the NBC side of things, it's got leaked that part of that deal, which this deal goes through 2031 for Notre Dame, is as it goes on, Notre Dame will make less and less money unless they join the Big Ten. And those were the terms that Notre Dame agreed to. Okay. Now, there are 3 different outcomes for this, how this contract plays out. Notre Dame stays independent, the revenue stays the same or goes down every year. They join the Big Ten, the revenue goes up by a lot. Or they join the ACC and the revenue goes down a lot. So people are basically saying, well, this is smoke, that Notre Dame is seriously considering joining the Big Ten. Otherwise, why would they agree to this extension? What are your guys' thoughts?
So I think another thing about this, and the reason why this is coming out now, is because we heard stuff about the proposed 14-team expansion of the playoffs in 2026. And the rumor there is that 3 teams from the Big 10, 3 teams from the SEC, 2 teams from the ACC, and 2 teams from the Big 12, and then the highest group of 5, and that would only leave 3 at-large bids. So I think at that point they were saying, Notre Dame, would Notre Dame make it? And they'd be like, yeah, they would make it as probably one of the at-large bids or something. But in that context, with those numbers, the margins for Notre Dame to make the playoffs at that point is a lot worse for them. I think that's another reason why that's coming around. And I think being able to guarantee getting that one of those 3 at-large bid, or those 3 automatic qualifiers from the Big Ten, if they were to join the Big Ten, is too good of a prize, or whatever you want to call it, to take. And even with the ACC, if they were to go to the ACC, it's not even sure it's about the revenue, and that's obviously the main reason why all this conference realignment has really happened, is the revenue. But that's the other thing too, is if you go to the ACC, with how up and down the conference has been, where one team dominates for years and years, like Clemson, and then it's now Clemson seems to be on the downfall a little bit. There's a kind of a power gap there to where Notre Dame could take over and just have a guaranteed every year, automatic bid if they have 2, or go to the Big Ten and be Ohio State, Michigan, and Notre Dame every single year, guaranteed, pretty much, right? So I think that's why it's come out, and that was my initial thought with that.
Josh?
Well, Connor, I think our one Penn State fan is going to be upset with you about that, but
Penn State will randomly have a good year, and then it'll be them and Notre Dame fighting for that 3rd spot. If Notre Dame goes to the
how dare you, Connor? Penn State has been the 3rd best team in the Big Ten for a long time. Anyways, I'm kidding. Kind of kidding, but
kind of.
So it would be smart for Notre Dame to join a conference, like everyone has been saying for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why they're pressured to do so, especially with that 14-team kind of thing. I think that's dumb. Yeah. Then again, I think they're suggesting it because nobody really saw the Pac-12 disappearing.
Well, the fact that the Big Ten and the SEC want
3 bids?
4. No, they want 4. That was like
they
want 4 each?
Yeah, they want 4 each.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, like, the Big Ten and the SEC think they can just bully the committee and college football into a way.
Why shouldn't they?
The other conferences and the G5 and Notre Dame are not going to agree
Are
to
not
that.
better.
But they're not going to agree to it.
Because the math at that point would be what? 4 Big Ten, 4
That's 8.
SEC. That's
And then
8.
it would be 2 for the Big 12 and 2 for the ACC.
And then you have
Yeah.
one at-large
12.
bid. You have one
And then you
guarantee.
would
You have
have-
one at-large bid and then
And one group of 5.
And one group
Yeah.
of 5. So that's where that would have been worse for Notre Dame then.
Yeah.
If it's by themselves, because if you have, I mean, I could totally see where there's like 11-1, a 4th or a 5th SEC team that's 11, that's like 10-2, right? That's had a really good year all of a sudden. Obviously, and Notre Dame's there at 11-1 or something, or 10-2. Who are they going to take? They're going to take the SEC school more than likely. Maybe, I have no idea, but
do you guys think that? I mean, because I've seen
That's
Notre
ridiculous.
Dame fans talk about how they didn't like how, if this was true, why Notre Dame ever agreed to this, because it seems like NBC is like coiling around Notre Dame because they signed that partnership with the Big Ten football, to have exclusive rights to show Big Ten games, especially the primetime ones. I've seen Notre Dame fans complain about, hey, like, why would we do this to ourselves? Why wouldn't we just say we're not going to
money reducing?
Yeah, like if we don't join the Big Ten.
I think,
And yeah, because it just seems like NBC is kind of like going behind the scenes and like, hey, we're going to be a snake. We're going to coil Notre Dame.
I think that's the wrong way to look at it.
What?
I think that's the wrong way to look at it, because I think NBC's hedging their bets. They're like, well, we're going to be the place, because they don't want to lose the Notre Dame market.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch Notre Dame football, you're going to be watching it on NBC, and it doesn't matter if it's going to be the Big Ten on NBC or if it's Notre Dame on NBC.
Yeah, and I also think it saves NBC money because they're paying 2 separate media rights deals right now. One with Notre Dame and the Big Ten.
I also think it was also because, as the deal goes on, right, NBC probably was thinking, as they looked at the landscape of college football, which, as we've seen, is all about the money, right? In these massive TV deals, they're seeing all these other TV deals that's going on, right? So they know that they can as Notre Dame sees these other programs in the Big Ten and the SEC make more money, make as much money, if not more than them, they'd be like, oh, we can lessen it, but then also force Notre Dame to have to re-up it. Yeah. And while Notre Dame will get more money, that also means NBC will continue to have that going forward, right? So, but it could also be Notre Dame, with the reduction in money, maybe Notre Dame also can use it as a way to get out and not have to, and also try and force their hand, be like, yeah, we're making less money, we're going to leave, and we're going to create another deal.
We'll go sign with Fox or CBS.
Exactly. We'll go sign with somebody else, right?
Well, they'll probably make more money being in the Big Ten.
Probably anyway. Yeah. So.
No.
Well, do you guys think? I mean, last thing, and then we'll move on. But do you guys think Notre Dame would have agreed to these details if they weren't thinking about unless they were seriously thinking about joining the Big Ten?
Well, when was this deal signed?
It was signed a couple months ago.
Okay. I think Notre Dame is playing the long game here, as they should. The university has been around for 200 years. They should be playing the long game. But really, it's just it's the smart thing to do, and to hear Notre Dame fans being upset about it, or like, oh, we don't want to be in Big Ten. Why? Because there's just better competition there.
Because you're already like half a Big Ten and half an ACC school already with your rivalries, pretty much.
Yeah, geographically they're a Big Ten.
Geographically, you're already pretty much in the Big Ten, and you already have rivalries with USC, kind of Michigan, kind of now growing with Ohio State, right? Like that's geographically right. You have ACC, you have Stanford.
Clemson is now viewed as a rival.
It's kind of grown, I would say, and that's kind of a rival there. right? And you already have the agreement to play 5 ACC schools a year. I'm not sure if is that now going to be 6.
Well, yeah, because it'll be Stanford. Yeah.
Yes. So Stanford plus another 5. So like, you know, it just makes too much sense geographically and just with historical rivalries.
Well, and the fact that a lot of Notre Dame's historical rivalries are losing significance. Stanford is not what they used to be. Michigan was probably our biggest rival, and we don't even play them anymore.
Which
it would fix a lot.
I think the Big Ten is jumping after this year to try and get Notre Dame after that. You know, obviously.
Well, and you know it's odd, and I didn't even think about this. Notre Dame and Michigan have scheduled a home and home for 2029 and 2030. And that's when this NBC deal
it ends the year after, right? 2031,
yep.
You said?
Yep. So maybe that's that, you know, Notre Dame was kind of planning that, like, hey, we'll join around then because that's towards the end of our NBC deal.
That's still a long ways to go, and you're playing with fire with the new 5-7. I mean, we'll have this with the new, you know, if they, you know, we'll have 3 years of 12 teams and then probably expand to 14. And if they get it to where you only have 3 at-large bids, and there's a year or two where Notre Dame doesn't make it because they had a down year in there compared to some other teams that go 11-1 or 10-2, but have better overall wins, people can be like, look at Notre Dame. Why are you not in a conference? If you were in the Big Ten or the ACC at 10-2, you would have had one of the automatic qualifiers, right? You know what I mean? So it could also come back in their face. So,
all right, let's do our sponsor real quick because we need to start doing this in the middle instead of the end. But we'll do our sponsor real quick, and then while we're talking about the playoff, we'll talk about it up next. Go ahead, Josh.
All right. Our partnership, because they don't pay us, they're not a sponsor yet. We partner with W Energy. W Energy. Be better. Now, what is W? Well, it is a powdered energy blend, and it's really pretty great, honestly. If you use, first off, their website, w.gg, you can find tons of different flavors, different blends on there. They don't only have energy blends like this. This is Dub Sludge, my favorite. They also have hydro blends. Like imagine something kind of like, you know, Power Lizardade. I'm not gonna give other names of who they're trying to compete with, but W Energy. Again, their website is w.gg. Go there, use code WEEK0, and you get 10% off your entire order. So, doesn't matter how much you order, what you order, doesn't like that. Doesn't matter. 10% off, use code WEEK0. It lets them know that we sent you. W Energy, be better.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Now let's get into the next topic, second topic of the night. We were just talking about it. The 14-team CFP model. We'll be getting to our overall team ratings later. But really quick, what were your guys' thoughts when you heard that the College Football Playoff Committee was looking to already extend to 14 teams with the model of 4 auto Big Ten bids, 4 auto SEC, 2 auto for the Big 12 and the ACC, 1 group of 5 auto bid, and then 1 basically wild card team?
I hadn't heard that one. The one I've heard that most was about 3 Big 12, 3 SEC, 2 ACC.
That was the second one they came back with because they got really big pushback from the other.
So that's the one that I came back with that got the most talking about. The first one is fucking ridiculous, but it unfortunately shows how much power the Big 12, Big 10, and the SEC think they have now, and they can go fuck themselves. So I want to see more.
Join the SEC. We'll welcome.
I want to see more at-large bids. I'd rather see that. I mean, still 3 still feels small. I like this 5-7 that they're gonna have. I like that format better than this 3-3-2-2-1.
I
You know,
like the NCAA like March Madness feel to it, where if you win your conference, you get in the playoff. Doesn't matter what your record is.
personally, what I feel I
Yeah.
always wanted is they take the FCS playoffs and just put it in the FBS.
Yeah.
Just take the top 24 teams, right? They have a home game or something. They get a home playoff game. Why
The
do
others
we
get
have
a
to
bye
have
week.
no bye week? Why do you have to have this arbitrary number of teams that make it? Why don't you just take the top, do the FCF or CFP, have the top 24, 25 teams play. Maybe the number one team does get a bye because of the math doesn't make sense, or you do 26. My math was like, I remember looking at this one time, it's like take like the top 28 teams, 26 through or 24 through 28 play each other, right? And then you go from there. And then you just do a full on March Madness, and then chaos can happen. Why not just do that? I feel like you would make way more money. This arbitrary 14 team makes no sense to me. 12, I'm not entirely sure of. If you want to keep spending, just take it to 24 and just let as many teams as you want play. I would love to see a 9-3 or 8-4 team that's had some really good game wins over top 5 opponents, make it all the way to the championship, right? Of course, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, they're not really the best," but who gives?
Can you imagine
a shit?
we see like because we've seen it a couple times with the ACC. We've seen like a 8-4. We've seen it in the Big Ten sometimes too, like an 8-4 team. Can you imagine, like we see like a team?
Imagine we saw like a 10-2 Iowa team like this last year with the defense and the offense they had, just somehow make it all the way to like the semifinals.
But they win the Big Ten and they get an auto bid over
Exactly.
like an undefeated Michigan.
Brian, can you send the link?
Oh yeah.
Like, we got to get Phil in here. We got to get the guys.
But if you're trying to expand it, why not just? I think it's just ridiculous that they're not willing to do that. I'd rather see a full 24 teams.
They're taking it slow, man. They're taking it slow. All right.
Josh, give us your thoughts, because you are part of this effing SEC and Big Ten like collusion between the two, where you guys are like planning about how you're going to take over the college football world. And
we already have. You guys just don't realize
how you guys are going to be like, we're going to decide the rules. We're going to decide who gets in the playoff.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to go for that.
We already have. We're going to wait until. There we go.
Maze Madman has graced us with his presence.
What's going on, guys? It's been a while.
It has been.
Yes, it has. So I was just asked to give the SEC opinion, and I'm glad you're here, because we need the Big Ten opinion here. So the 14-team college football playoff. Are you familiar with the proposal, Bill?
Is that 3-3-2-1-3?
The original was actually 4-4 for SEC and Big Ten, 4 each, and then 2-2-1, and then 1 at large.
Oh, Phil, did I see that correct?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Put that over there.
So I don't think I like 4-4, because that's really like taking a chance, going 4 deep, super taking a chance on that 4th team in either of those conferences. And I know year to year that it could be 4 strong teams, but sometimes it's not, right?
Yeah.
Like last year, would you have picked 4 teams out of the Big Ten?
Not this past season,
What I was saying, imagine if one of those teams was like the 10-2 Iowa team with the terrible offense but the fantastic.
Well, no, Luke or Connor.
Shout out to Michael Covert. I saw that. I followed you too, and I will get with you. This guy had some information. Shout out to you though.
Think about this: like in 2022, Illinois, right? Record-wise, and then the standings was the 4th best team in the Big Ten.
Right.
You would have Illinois at 9-3, making this college football playoff automatically.
Right.
That Illinois team, they had a good defense. They had Chase Brown. They would have got killed.
Yeah. Also, I mean, even this year, right? Record-wise, Penn State wasn't bad. They had the 2 losses, but I wouldn't say they were one of the 12 best teams or 14
I mean, they
best
played
teams
what, the
last year.
4th or 5th best team in the SEC in a near 6 and got absolutely curb stomped.
Right.
And so did I think so did Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa got curb stomped by Tennessee.
So did Ohio State, but obviously,
Yeah.
Got to watch out for Missouri, the absolute football powerhouse.
I got a bone to pick with Missouri, by the way.
Oh,
Missouri is stealing the block him, right? That's one thing. But then they posted something that said the team. And I was like, okay, now they've gone too far. That's clearly a Bo Schembechler quote. They've taken it a step too far now.
Yeah. Lucas, what are your thoughts on the 14-team playoff, the 4-4-2-2-1-1 model?
Whack.
Exactly.
Whack. He's over here like whack.
Yeah.
So the 4-4 model, I just feel like there was going to be too many gripes with it, and I'm glad that they got pushed back on it.
Yeah.
But the 3-3, is it 3-3, 2-2?
3-3-2-1, and then 3 at large.
Who's the one? Is it the ACC?
No, big group of 5.
Yeah, Power 5. I'm sorry. Group of 5.
That's group of 5.
And then one like wild card, yeah.
3-3-2-2.
2-2s.
And then it'd be 3 at
1.
and then it'd be 3 at large.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 3.
Which we were just talking about how, like, because while we don't, like, these conferences and Notre Dame may not have the power in terms of, like, setting the rules and stuff that the SEC and Big Ten do now, I still think they will be outnumbered by the sheer amount of teams that are, like, in the group of 5, the ACC, the Big 12, Notre Dame, the brand itself. They will fight against that model as hard as they can. All those teams, like the Big 12 will. The Big 12 and the ACC.
UCF could be upset all they want.
Yeah, but but the thing is, Notre Dame.
I am not afraid of Kansas.
Notre Dame is the big reason why we got the 12-team playoff. I mean, our AD was the first guy that said, "Hey, like, we need a 12-team playoff."
Yeah, I don't think you guys were the only ones pushing for that. Come on.
Well, he was a big part of it.
It did. He might have been in the room.
I think the SEC is the reason that Notre Dame was included in the 14 playoff as heavily as they were. Now the 12 team, obviously, I think Notre Dame is going to have, like, the best odds of getting in every year.
Yeah.
Just based on the qualification and the fact that you don't have, like, a conference allegiance right now, although that could change here soon.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. What do you? I mean, Phil, you know the information about all that rumors and stuff. You and Lucas are resident Big Ten guys now. How do you guys feel about that stuff? Notre Dame going to the Big Ten.
I'll go really quick. I think Notre Dame joining the Big Ten would be advantageous for the Big Ten and for Notre Dame. Obviously, they have, like, all their rivals just about are now in the Big Ten. Notre Dame's the second biggest brand in college football behind Ohio State. So, you can't, like, lose there. It's a win-win on that front. But, I also understand Notre Dame is in a good position depending on what that contract was with NBC, which I think they are keeping hush because it's not as much money as,
Phil, we talked about it. It came out. It got leaked, Phil. I don't know if you saw that.
Okay.
That's where the smoke came from, is that NBC, Notre Dame, they signed an extension through 2031. Well, every year past, I think it's 2026, starting in 2026, Notre Dame's deal, if they stay independent, they are losing more money every year that they stay independent.
Yeah.
Part of the details in the contract is if Notre Dame joins the Big Ten, that money skyrockets with their NBC deal, which means they'll still be able to get all our home games will be nationally televised on NBC. But
I'm not sure that that's the case, though.
Well, that's what people are reporting.
If they join the Big Ten, then that wouldn't be necessarily the case. If you like, think about what you just said. If all your games were scheduled on,
not like the away games, just the home games.
I know your home games. Even if you had a home game against USC at the end of the season, which you probably won't because they don't play you guys at the end of the season. Although now joining the Big Ten, maybe that happens. Say you had a home game against USC at the end of the season.
Well, their last game of the season this year is USC. So.
Yeah.
Right, but that's in LA.
Yeah.
That's why it's the last game.
When it's at Notre Dame, it's usually late October or early November.
But because you would be joining the conference and because they're now part of the conference, maybe that can happen now. So let's assume in this wild world that you play USC at home. Are they going to pick that game over Michigan, Ohio State that same day?
What they'll probably do is they'll
put it in the later.
Dame. Yeah.
They put it in the later bracket. I mean, because obviously Michigan, Ohio State, aren't you guys like always the big noon?
It's always going to be the big noon.
It is at noon, and I'm pretty sure Fox is going to like take priority and say we want that game.
Well, I believe it works now as Fox gets priority, like they get first pick of the game.
Yeah, they do.
So
they do.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they're going to go about Colorado this year because you know how Fox just slurped on Colorado and the big noon kickoff game, which didn't make any sense because that's a Big Ten slot. I wonder how they're going to handle Colorado this coming year. But then Colorado, obviously, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head what television program is associated
Fox
with
and
Big 12.
Fox and ESPN because they have
With
the
Big
Big 12
12?
network. Yeah.
So maybe they can still do those like big noon kickoffs, but
Colorado has 3 of those games, by the way.
Because you know that Colorado's going to still be they're going to still be nationally televised no matter who they
Where
play.
they could play. You know what's crazy is they played Oregon. I don't think it was big noon, but it was like a 2:30 game. Got absolutely
destroyed.
Was it big noon?
A 2:30 game?
I think it was a 2:30 game.
The Oregon game that we watched?
Yeah, that was the game that was on when we were in the hotel room. So
it was late.
I think that was a noon game.
No, it wasn't.
No, because we came back. Because we went to game day. We came back.
No,
to
you're
the
right.
hotel.
We came back. Yeah, that was the second.
That's right. It felt like it was late because we had stayed up for 20 hours.
Yeah, we're tired.
That's right.
But no,
hey, it's
they
all
got
right.
killed. Colorado proceeds to get killed by Oregon on national TV. A couple of weeks later, they're playing USC, and they're all like, get Fox again is like slurping that Colorado Kool-Aid and like, hey, they're playing USC. We got to put this as like I don't think it was big noon, but I think it was like the primetime slot for Fox.
During that game.
But yeah, I mean, Lucas, how do you feel about it?
Well, so as far as Notre Dame goes, I think because of the 12-team playoff, I think it's smart for Notre Dame to stay out. I see this is something that I hate and it drives me crazy that they are pushing this. You have to be in a conference narrative throughout all of college football. They have been pushing that. Obviously, there's only two independents now, being UConn and Notre
Army
Dame.
and UMass joined the conference.
Yeah, so there's only 2 independents left.
And UConn only cares about basketball now, so
yeah. It's everybody wants to be in a conference, but now that we're in this 12-team playoff, it's better for you not to be independent. And it's better for Notre Dame to be independent. Yeah, they're going to probably, like you said, with the NBC deal, they're going to lose all this money and they're not going to make as much, whatever. But that doesn't matter if they have a chance at the college football playoff. You know how much a single college football playoff game is going to make each school that is in that specific game? It's going to make a fuck ton of money.
I mean, me and Phil talked about it. Like, if Notre Dame, think you picture this. Notre Dame plays LSU in South Bend. Is Notre Dame like the 5 through 8 seed? They get a home playoff game. They get to play LSU and Brian Kelly in South Bend. That would make tons of money.
But you guys could play, I don't know, fucking Cincinnati, or you guys could play anybody in that playoff game, and you're going to make a lot of money, no matter who it is going to make a lot of money from that CFP game. So I think expanding the playoff even more is it's just
inevitable.
It's losing doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Because you think about the National Football League, right? When your team loses, you're like, damn it, that sucks. But we're 5-4 and we can still go and make it to the playoffs and win a Super Bowl. Look at the Chiefs. I mean, they just went 11-6 in the regular season.
Well, hell, look at the Bucks.
went-
They were in the worst division in the NFL. Won that division because it was just terrible.
Won 9-8 and then won a playoff game.
And won a playoff game. You look at the Seattle Seahawks back in, what was it, 2009?
Well, yeah.
Was it 2009, 2010 when they were 7-9? They won a playoff game. Like, they're making losing not matter as much as it used to, and it kind of sucks. And I get it. You want to see the best teams, for an example, just because I'm an Oregon fan, I'll have Oregon in this. Oregon was one of the best teams in college football this last season, but we didn't get an opportunity to play in a playoff because we had lost to the.
And Oregon would have had a shot at. Oregon would have had a legit shot to win the Natty this year. I believe.
I think they would have had a legit shot. I think Georgia would have had a legit shot. Obviously.
Ole Miss.
I was saying this is
Missouri.
why they should just take it straight and just take the FCS playoffs and just put it in the FBS. Just take.
Well, then you're getting your
4
okay.
teams.
I don't. The only reason I disagree with that is because if you go to 20, what is it like?
I think they're like 24, 26.
24 teams. You're probably going off of like the AP top 25 or the CFP top 25 rankings at that point, right? So you're going to have like number 24. You'll have like a 5-loss, I don't know, Georgia Tech team in the CFP. Like nobody would want to see that.
See, I don't think you're going to end up with that. I think 3 is your max losses. And I could definitely see a team like Michigan, losing 3 games to – say Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State or something like that. Penn State, Oregon, and Ohio State also get to the playoff, and then you got Michigan who's 9-3. Like I could see those
24.
teams getting to the playoff. You know what I mean?
24 teams, and then even this past the most losses any team had was there was 6 teams with 4 losses.
Wait, and what was this for the?
This is the FCS division FCS champ.
I like the FCS tournament. I think it's a ton of fun. I don't pay attention
because you get
much, but when they get to the tournament, it is a ton of fun watching.
And you see a lot of upsets. You see a lot of upsets.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying because you'll get teams who are pretty close. Like you have an 8-3 Mercer versus a 7-4 Gardner Webb, right? You can see some upsets. So that means that of these teams, 16 teams get to host a playoff game, get to have a home playoff game.
But my issue is because Lucas had said, "Oh, well, a 5-loss team won't make it." If you go,
I don't think that. I think at that point that is too much. I feel like
if you go 24 teams, if you just look at every year, the top 25 with the final top 25 every year, you're gonna have. There have been 7-5 teams that have ended up in the top 25 at the end of the year.
I have a question. Well, I don't know about that 7-5, but I have a question for our resident national champion over here. I have a question for him. Would you have been more? I don't think you were really afraid to play anybody because obviously we both agree that Michigan was the best team all season. But would you have been more afraid to play in Oregon or Georgia than when you played Washington in the national title?
Or Alabama?
Or even when you played Bama, were you more afraid to play Bama than when you played Washington?
Yeah, I think there was more apprehension, right? Than afraid. I don't think I was afraid to play anybody. Now, I will say, as much as I appreciate the path that we ended up having, I wanted to play Georgia last year just because they were the team to beat over the last couple of years. I would have felt the most apprehension playing them. Oregon probably second, and then
Alabama, Washington, probably.
Alabama, Washington in that order. Texas, throw Texas in there somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Georgia was the best team in the country, but like we're gonna see this stuff like with Florida State getting left out. We're gonna start to see where nobody gets left out.
Yeah,
but what I'm curious to see is in the 14 playoff there were 2 or 3 teams that absolutely dominated the playoff era. Clemson, Alabama, Georgia. Those are the only teams that have won multiple national titles. Do we see that change in a 12-team or 14-team format? Or does it just end up being the same?
So in the 12-team format as it stands, right?
Yeah.
4 teams get a bye. Obviously, that means there are 4 games being played that first weekend, right?
Yeah.
And then so we go from 12 to 8, and then so it's really not much well, I guess there's an extra game in there if you got that bye, you're playing 3 playoff games, right? Even with the bye. But if you don't, you're playing potentially 4 playoff games. This is where if I'm Notre Dame, I would love being independent in this scenario, because Notre Dame could potentially be the number 1 team in the country. Just picture this: number 1 team in the country, win all 12 of their regular season games. Obviously, they don't have a conference championship. They go into this, get a free home game, beat whoever it is, right?
And they get a bye week anyway because they don't play a conference championship.
They get a built-in bye because they don't play a conference championship. Well, because it's not like you play your conference championship and then you go straight to the playoffs either. It's like 2 weeks.
We'll get 2 weeks. Yeah.
All
right. Still, they don't have to play an extra game.
Absolutely.
That a lot of teams will.
But Notre Dame could potentially be the only school of anybody, right? Because I'm just eliminating UConn because they probably will never see this, right? So go undefeated with what would they be? They would be 16 and 0.
Yeah, 16. So conference champion would be 17.
Exactly. Now, granted, a conference champion has the ability to go be 17 and 0.
Although I don't think we'll ever see.
What I said about.
I don't think we'll ever see a 17 and 0 national championship.
And that's why
I definitely think we will.
You do?
Oh yeah, we will. Georgia last year could have gone 17.
It's hard enough. It's hard enough in the NFL for a team to go undefeated. So you're basically playing.
But this is college football. It's not as difficult to go undefeated as the NFL.
I'm saying, in that playoff round, you're not going to be because we've talked about it over the years of teams that have made in the playoff because they went 12-0. Clemson multiple times didn't play anybody in the regular season. They had a cakewalk of a schedule almost on a yearly basis, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, when they play Bama, they're going to struggle because they haven't played anybody." Until they finally beat Bama in 2016. But that's what we're going to see is I think it's going to be harder for teams like that have an easy schedule or an easier schedule. And then especially in the SEC and Big Ten, I don't see any team coming out of those gauntlet of conferences without a loss. Georgia was the number 1 team in the country for 13 straight weeks until they lost to Bama.
Yeah.
And that's right. Because so
but we've still seen undefeated SEC champions. We've still seen undefeated Big Ten champions. So
but now Texas and Oklahoma.
But I will say this about that how college football is going to look. We are going to go a very long time before we see a team that isn't out of the SEC or the Big Ten winning the national championship. I think we're going to go a very long time.
Are you counting Notre Dame in that too?
Yes.
I would count Notre Dame in that because I don't think you guys are very far from the Big Ten. I think you guys are going to be in the Big Ten within a matter of 2 years, maybe even a year. Depending on how this season goes, if you guys are like, we still can't win with this shit schedule, we might as well go to a conference. So, I mean, it's, it really depends on how this season goes. And if you guys lose a bunch of money, say the viewership is down for whatever reason, you guys are like, fuck, we gotta go over and, be part of this conference that has clearly done a very good job. I mean, they got 4 very, very good schools, really the best schools out of the conference outside of Utah. In Pac-12. So, I mean, the Big Ten, I don't even know who the commish is, but he's done a very good job so far. So I think he pulls Notre Dame within a number of years.
Yeah, I think our title window is.
But I still don't see it. But I'm saying, like, I don't see an SEC. I don't see a Big 12 team that's good enough. That even within the next couple of years, I don't see an ACC team. Maybe Clemson, but I think their reign is pretty much over.
I think it's Clemson or Florida State for sure.
Florida State.
Florida State's about to leave.
I think. Well, they're going to leave for one. For two, I'm gonna be honest. I think they kind of caught lightning in a bottle this last season. I think they just had a perfect team to do what they did, and now it's.
Well, if Clemson, the thing with Clemson is they have to find a freaking quarterback. Like they've been stuck with Cade Klubnik the last 2 years. If they can find another,
find a quarterback, they need to build an offense around their quarterback.
What's crazy is I've seen a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, pundits, people on Twitter, people that have credibility, say that Connor's Virginia Tech can seriously win the ACC.
Dude, no, I think Virginia Tech is definitely.
People are going crazy about Kyron Jones right now.
VT is number 1 in returning production of all teams. They're returning 95%.
I will say though,
defensive production in total.
I think Louisville under Jeff Brom is on the up and up. They have a better team coming into this year than they did last year.
For sure.
And that's crazy to say. Like they went absolutely nuts in the transfer portal. So I mean,
Josh is laughing at you. Straight to your face.
No, but,
He's like, it doesn't matter, dude. Louisville can't be Kentucky. It's just
little brother syndrome, man. I mean, after 6 straight years.
We've talked about this enough. The other topic.
I do have a question for Ryan. And if you guys go to the Big Ten, do you think you are going to have to sever the Stanford rivalry?
No, Notre Dame it's already been stated that because you guys are playing 9 or 10 conference games? I can't remember. Is it 9 or 10?
9.
So what Notre Dame would do is they would save their rivalry with Navy, Stanford, and probably they might just probably Clemson.
I guess isn't really right.
Clemson would probably because there's a thing going. I don't know what it is, but Clemson has been trying to start a rivalry with Notre Dame since 2018 or 2016.
No, you would save that last game for a
cupcake.
Yeah,
it would be like Marshall or something.
Maybe we could.
Because otherwise you guys are never going to that playoff. I mean, well, actually, you can get into the playoff still, but
you don't think the strength of schedule if we had to play Clemson. And
I don't think you guys
out of non-con.
You guys aren't going to make that. No, I mean,
all right. So let's get into this next one.
This is each of our teams or just overall?
I think you should give 5 of your teams first. Just be brief. Don't take too much time. 5 of your team.
Here, let's let Josh go last. He didn't do his homework. He gets an F.
I know too much about these games that I know. Right,
you already know.
I already know.
I already screenshotted
your
chart.
I'll go. How about I go first?
Yeah, go first. Be very brief, Connor.
Yes. Okay. So I was thinking about this. So I'm actually going to give a proper order too. I think 5 will be Bajelton, our running back.
That's low.
3 will be Mansour Delaney, our second corner. 3 will be Kyron Drones. 2 will be Antoine Powell-Ryland, who is a second team All ACC and defensive end. And then number 1 will be Dorian Strong, who's probably going to be a first-round pick as a corner.
No,
Tootin?
No,
Tootin's 5.
Tootin at 5.
Oh, Tootin. Okay.
I think Dorian Strong would be the best. He was the second. Statistically, he was like the second best corner in terms of like passer rating allowed this past year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get hype as a preseason All ACC first team. And I think he's going to continue the tradition of strong defensive back play from Virginia Tech. But yeah, Tootin. The only reason I said I put Drones over Tootin is Tootin only had about 800, 900 yards rushing. His production wasn't that good. Wasn't overall as good as you would think.
Do you guys still have Malachi?
Malachi Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah. We still have him. He's gonna be. I think he's our backup. He should be.
So
still
what we'll do here is because I don't think if you want you can give your ratings for them, but I think we'll save that. We'll save that. If you don't have it right now, we'll just save it for our team specific.
All I can say is Strong's probably made like a 90 plus at the very least. I'm not sure if anyone else will be a 90.
All right, Phil. That's the only. Who are you going with on Michigan?
So for Michigan, obviously I have Will Johnson at number 1. We'll get that out the way. Number 2, I actually have Mason Graham, also on the defensive lineman, defensive tackle, who I think should be rated pretty high. 3, Colson Loveland, who PFF has as the number 1 tight end going into this season. I got him as the 3rd best player for Michigan. This is just the game's ratings, of course. This is how I think the game will do it. 4, I went with Kenneth Grant, also a defender. I'm sorry, he's actually 5th. 5th is Kenneth Grant. And then 4th is Donovan Edwards.
All right, Lucas.
So this one's a hard one for me because Oregon's got more fucking loaded with studs. But number 5, I'm gonna say at number 5, I'm gonna put Johnny Cornelius. I think he's the best left tackle in college football. So I got him at number 5. Number 4, I'm gonna say Tez Johnson.
Okay.
Just fell over. Number 4, Tez Johnson. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Kobe Savage at number 3.
Ooh.
Kobe Savage at number 3. Number 2, sounds.
Hey, 99 overall awareness.
Right. That's hilarious. That's actually a good one.
Number 2, I'm gonna have Dylan Gabriel, and then number 1, Jabbar Muhammad.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Hey, also Connor Stallings 99 play rec. Gotta have that in there too.
Dude, he's gotta have 99 play rec.
Right.
Sure.
He just always sees the exact play.
He's got that ability. What's that ability?
It's Omaha.
Where he
It's Omaha.
Where you can see the coverage. You can see the coverage.
You can always see it. Or if you have it on defense, you can always see the exact play they're going to run and which route they're going to throw to.
They'll just make that an ability in NCAA 25.
Someone's going to totally mod him in, and he's going to have that ability, and you're just going to always know exactly what play is going to happen.
Well, they did just make a Rich Eisen running back.
Dude, you know what we need to do? We need to do a Connor Stallions playthrough on the channel. Like Road to Glory.
I can do that. All right.
No,
Josh,
that's something we definitely need to do. Though is we need to do like a playthrough of the games and stuff of the game when it comes out.
All right, go ahead, Josh. Just do your top 5 Kentucky players.
Just come up with 5 players off the top of your head,
bro.
What, you don't know enough? You don't know your team enough to be able to do that?
I do. I'm just trying to remember.
Barryon Brown is number 1, right?
He's
Vandergriff.
Vandergriff might not even be top 5 on the team. just because like that's
He hasn't
some of the
played.
problems. Like, because like, how am I supposed to grade Chip Trainum? Like, how am I supposed to like quantify some of these transfers when they didn't hardly do anything where they transferred from?
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough, man. That's part of why I didn't do it. So I'm like, this sucks. Let's see. Barry and Brown's on there.
It's crazy to think that everybody in my
Deion
top 5
Walker.
is transfer.
Deion Walker is probably our best player.
Okay.
Another player they stole out of the state of Michigan,
Oh
right
my
from the
gosh.
grips of Michigan. But go ahead.
Man's a beast. I gotta say that. Dude, so much production from last year left. Damn it.
Yeah. Kentucky is gonna have
It'd be easy it'd be easy if Ray Davis had another year of eligibility.
This is gonna be a rough season for the old.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
Okay, you have.
I really don't.
Big Blue.
You're getting really bad Ryan syndrome right now. You gotta understand. You gotta see the writing on the wall, my.
No. Ryan syndrome is saying Kentucky's going to win a national title. Like that. That's Ryan syndrome. Josh,
You gotta. He's got.
I'm saying 8-4.
On the wall.
I'm saying 8-4.
That's
what I'm
optimistic.
All right.
In a playoff berth.
And a playoff.
That's optimistic.
All right, I guess I'll go next.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've already did a post about this, and I'll give their overalls as well, because I already had it posted. So number 5, Riley Leonard, 91 overall for me. Number 4, Howard Cross, PFF rated him the number 1 defensive tackle in the country at 92 overall. I'm going number 3, tight end Mitchell Evans at 92 overall. Number 2, Xavier Watts just won the Bronco Nagurski Award for the best defender in college football. Give me 94 for him. And then number 1, cornerback Ben Morrison at 96 overall, the best corner in college football.
I was totally expecting you to say Riley Leonard, 97 overall, with how much
No.
he picking his ass up.
No.
Okay, I thought I also mentioned this earlier. Which of offense and defense do you guys think each of your teams will have higher overall?
Defense for
Michigan
Notre Dame, for sure.
defense.
Yeah.
Oregon's gonna have probably the highest overall offense in the country.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be
In the
offense for
game.
BT.
If we're going offense, I think it's either
Your
be
defense
Oregon
is,
or Texas.
I'm telling you right now, Connor, your defense is better.
Yeah.
I mean, the offense is returning every single player, and the offense in the last 4 games of the season was scoring 43 points a game. So
this is.
Go ahead,
I can pull this up real quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, do you have? Are you going up what revamped has?
So revamp. The people that made revamped are obviously going to be and are a part of the people that are making the new game. So I can go over some of these ratings and I can tell you exactly. This is obviously from this previous season. So some of these, it's like
they'll have Xavier Watts low as hell because he wasn't. Nobody even knew who he was till this year.
He's not that good.
Stop it.
He's not that good.
Stop it.
Why is this doing?
Or X gonna give it to you, Phil.
Is that what his?
That's what his thing is. Yes, yeah. X gonna give it to you.
All right, so let's go.
Probably never heard a DMX song in his life.
So I'll give you an example. So Bo Nix was rated as an 87 overall going into this season.
Right.
So him saying
so
that,
Riley Leonard is not a 91.
What is he in the
This
game?
is basically what he's saying.
I'll tell you what Riley Leonard.
He's 90. He's gonna be a 91. He was like
If Riley Leonard is anything over 84, I'm returning.
Bro,
the game.
he was the top.
top
quarterback.
Let's see what revamped has.
Okay, so revamped has him at an 86.
It'll be higher than that. He'll be higher than that.
No, he's not. He's not going to be
He's
anywhere
a
close
top
to
5
90.
quarterback in the league. What are you are in the league?
When
In the
his
country.
leg's not broken.
A top 5 quarterback?
Yes.
All right,
Quarterback
so
in the
He's
country.
not.
But
we're
guess
gonna
what?
go
They'll have
over-
Will Howard at like a 90
I
something.
want
We're gonna
whatever
go over
Ryan is
Michigan.
smoking because clearly he's in La La
I'm not
Land.
joking. Will Howard better not be rated higher than him. I
Okay,
swear to
hold
God.
up. We're gonna go over our team. So here's Michigan right here. So JJ McCarthy was a 90, by the way.
How?
Because he was very efficient.
His
He's like
speed?
the
All he does
most
is
accurate
win,
guy
win,
in the
win,
world.
No matter
His
what.
speed. That's got to be what it is.
All he does is win, dude.
Oh, come on. Game man.
All I do is win, no matter what.
So the Dawn was a 92.
See? And
Okay,
I have
that's
him
a
at a
little too
91.
much. That's a
I've
little
got him
too
at
much.
91.
Okay, so Loveland is an 86.
That's too low.
I think that'll definitely go up. So your highest overall, wait.
Will Johnson.
So, I can't just see all of them. That's kind of whack.
All right,
Okay,
just gonna
so-
score him.
Well, Quorum's a 98, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Quorum. I forgot about Quorum on the team.
Will
last year.
Will Johnson is a 92.
Wait, I got to know what Ben Morrison is now because that's too high for Will Johnson.
Junior Colson was a 92.
What?
For the beginning of last year, that's too high.
That's
I better know
why,
what
that's
Ben
too low. Will
They were
Johnson should be a
both
97 on this
All-Americans.
game.
They were both All-Americans as freshmen.
Will Johnson
So-
is 97.
The best.
No.
He's the only one.
player-
He's the only one that hasn't given up a touchdown his
He's
whole
the
career.
only one that, he was the one that locked up Marvin Harrison Jr.
Let's let Lucas.
So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
player outside on Michigan, the best player outside of Blake Corum was Zach Zinter, of course. He's a 97.
That's high.
But yeah, so has your backup quarterback as Jack Tuttle, who's gone, right? So
No, he's
It's
back.
Orgy.
is he back?
Yeah, he's back.
Orgy's not even in your top 3. It's Tuttle,
Orgy.
Davis, Warren.
Okay, give
Davis
us Notre
Warren is
Dame.
fine.
Who's
All right,
what's
let's look
Notre
at
Dame?
let's look at
I'm gonna be so.
So
pissed
okay,
off.
so
Ryan's
Sam
getting
Hart,
mad.
so Sam Hartman was an 89
What? Going into
into
last year?
Trash can.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Audric Estime was an 85.
What? What?
It's
Okay,
getting
whoever
worse.
works on college football revamped. You guys
Dude,
are.
Ryan,
They're making the
we-
new game, dude. I'm
No,
telling
what
you.
we need to do now is whenever the game releases or whenever they announce whenever they do the rankings, we need to just live stream it and just
Dude,
piss
I'm gonna
Ryan off the
bitch.
entire time.
You're
So
not gonna
much.
like Evans overall.
Well, I can understand that because he was unknown until last year.
Okay, so he's a 78.
Damn it.
Your best wide receiver is Jaden Thomas at an 81 overall.
That's-
Your best player is Joe Alt. Obviously, he's a 98.
Okay.
Let's
about-
see.
what's Ben
Let's go
Morrison?
Look at Ben Morrison. He's a 94, so he's a
Yes!
Will Johnson.
He's better than Will
Trash.
Johnson.
Return the game. Break the disc. Return it. Frisbee it. What? No.
Wait, what was Xavier Watts? I'm curious now.
He said
He was an
78.
80.
He was
He
an
was
80.
80.
Oh, no,
Xavier
that was
Watts is
Evans.
80.
That was a 78.
Howard Cross is an 89.
That's actually pretty high.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. I
Ben
want to
Morrison
see
higher. Let's
what your
go.
boy Howard was, because you have this fixation. with, oh,
Ryan, do you like
Howard.
Jadarian
Actually,
Price over Jeremiah Love?
No, Jeremiah Love should be higher rated.
Jadarian Price, what was his overall? Let me see. We'll look
I
at
wonder what
Virginia
Jeremiah
Tech.
Love's is because
His is low because he was a
He's a
freshman.
freshman.
This is
Yeah.
obviously before they knew that he was good. Let's see. So Jerron Payne is your backup at 79. Price is a 77.
the fact that they had estimate 85 just baffles me. Like, just
Well, I mean, what was his production like before last year?
He was an 800, 900 yard back. He
That's
shared
why.
the backfield with Logan.
Well,
Diggs.
that's why he wasn't like the bell cow like he was last year.
No,
That's
he was the starting running back, but it was him and Diggs. Him and Diggs both had 900 yards rushing. So
okay. What about VT or Kentucky?
Okay, I'll go to VT next. I wanted to see what Will Howard's overall was.
oh yes, because I will be
It was
pissed.
Will Howard was an 85
So he was lower than Riley Leonard.
by 1 overall.
point. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Kentucky's close here. So, I don't think they didn't
update it.
They didn't update Kentucky's team on here. They still have Will Levis.
Does Virginia Tech have anybody over 90?
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now they don't.
Is it based off of 2022 or 2023?
No,
Then
it's
yeah,
your
it's
2020. It's your 2023.
Oh,
Why did they not do like roster updates since they've been working on the
Right.
NBA game?
No, they have. They have. They did, but some of the teams
Didn't get it.
Because they're like, oh, Kentucky
I
fans
just
don't
realized
exist.
we're each wearing our team's stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that.
First
I
time
wouldn't
we've ever
change.
done that. Is this like the first time ever?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that I'm on the right roster because I think I am.
I'm wearing Michigan stuff to Autzen.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Do some binoculars.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
And a
Like,
notepad.
you have to be careful.
Can we actually vlog this time?
Okay. So, I didn't have the rosters updated when I told you the overall. So let's go back.
Oh, it's been up.
Okay.
You re-updated it.
So yeah, so these are for the 2023 season. Those were for the 2022 before. So Will Howard, still he didn't. Riley Leonard, okay, he's sitting at 86. Okay, so let's go to VT, who I'm in the national championship with against Michigan, by the way.
Getting kicked their ass.
Michigan goes undefeated every year when you first start this. And
they know what they're talking about, right, Phil?
Absolutely.
So Kyron Drones and Grant Wells are both a 79.
Oof.
Okay, well, hopefully Drones is like in the 80. Is going to be in the.
I'd
80s,
have
80s.
Drones at like an 86. I feel like that's.
He's going to be. He's going to be in the mid 80s, I think.
210 and Malachi Thomas. Yes.
Josh,
your wide receivers. Your wide receivers are golf.
Sorry.
They're all under 80. It's hard to play with. Bashul Tootin is a 83. Malachi Thomas is an 82. You do, however, have Ali Jennings, which you forgot to mention, and I think he's like he's an 88.
Yeah, he was like a top.
Like he's a red shirt
was like-
or whatever.
Red shirt. That's interesting. But he was like a top. He was like a top overall. He was like a top 4
Hey, you know
transfer
what?
wide receiver.
Josh, what happened the
What about
last time
defense?
you made fun of a quarterback on one of our teams in Bo Nix?
Yeah,
that turn
That
out?
wasn't the last time. The last time I made fun of.
So your best
Cam
overall
Hartman.
player is Mansour Delaney.
Okay.
But checks out.
Yeah. He was a
Right
he's a
now,
really good
now
corner.
Lucas.
Now we're gonna find out who Kentucky even has because Josh
Thank
doesn't
you.
even know.
Please. Like Octavius Oxendine, J.J. Weaver.
I'm curious about something as well, and I'm going to.
We do
Like,
need to.
yeah,
We do need to give our highest rated players overall.
Dude, this
So
is
Lucas-
before. This is before
Travis Hunter.
No, Travis Hunter should not be.
This is
top five.
before Jaden Daniels even won the Heisman, and he's a 98 in this game.
Damn.
He's a 90.
Okay. So
What?
Devin Leary
He-
was
he pretty much proved
Devin
it.
Leary was an 85.
Yeah, I buy that.
You have a lot of senior.
Better.
Ray Davis was a 94.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is your next running back gonna be Demi Samoa?
Demi Sumokarbe.
Sumo
Yeah. Well, it's going to be so Demi Sumokarbe had some playing time with us last season, but they got that running back from Ohio State.
Chip Trainum.
Yeah, Chip Trainum. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know if he's going to win the starting position or not in the spring.
Chip is trash.
Deion Walker is a 90.
Yep.
What was Delaney's overall? What was he, like a 90?
He was 86. That was your best overall player. That's why it's been so goddamn hard for me to get to that.
Well, hopefully they.
I lost. I got
a little
beat.
better.
I got beat by like 30 to Miami.
Damn.
Ooh.
You have JJ Weaver.
Yeah, JJ Weaver.
And then Maxwell Harrison.
Oh yeah, Maxwell Harrison.
He's a 92.
That's
so he's the
impressive.
he's the same overall as Will Johnson.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at that. Marion Brown's not anywhere close to.
Okay, so
overall, let's do overall. What was the highest rated players? Obviously, it was probably Caleb Williams, Drake May. I don't know who else.
the highest rated players in this game. I mean, there's a lot of. I don't think there's any 99s. I think USC might.
Caleb was probably the only 99, I'd imagine.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say my top 5 right now heading into the next game. I think Will Johnson, Jabbar Muhammad. Dude, I don't know enough like defensive linemen that are crazy good. I wish I knew more.
Do you think they'll give anybody a 99?
There's gonna be like some ridiculous defensive end from like Colorado State that nobody even knows about, but he's really good. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm just sticking with offense, I'm gonna say
it's really hard to do. Actually, I didn't even realize how hard it is.
Top 5. Man, that's tough. I mean, Quinn Ewers, he's probably going to be honestly, Quinn Ewers is probably going to be the highest overall player in the game.
You don't think Dylan Gabriel would be the highest rated quarterback?
No, I think it's going to be Quinn Ewers for sure. Quinn Ewers is probably going to be on the cover of the game.
I hope not. That'd be so boring.
I hope so. He'll get the curse and then suck.
No, they've got him. I feel like you almost have.
Speaking of, let's look at Boise State because we're gonna watch them.
Get that game, yeah. I think we can all agree though that Travis Hunter is probably top 5.
Holy shit, their running back is a 95 overall.
Damn.
Question, Lucas, because you know how these games work, do you think we see any 99 overall player to start the game?
Nope. I do not. If they're gonna rate it kind of like they do with Madden, where they're gonna be pretty low to start the season. That's why when you were saying your rankings, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be disappointed.
I'm going off of based of production of last year and expectations, and those guys won awards.
I guarantee
there's
not going to be more than like 5 or 6 teams that even have a total of 90, and like only Michigan and Oregon are going to be two of them.
Who do you think? So did you guys give your top rated players?
Yeah, we did. Well, not overall.
We kind of did. It's hard to think about all the players because
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
I
think he's top 5.
What about
Travis Hunter in the top 5?
Somebody that we aren't talking about that I think could be a top 4 or 5 player? Ollie Gordon.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I think he could be.
Who do you have as your? My question is wide receiver.
Who's the top receiver in the country?
I mean,
Luther
I
Burden?
think Tez.
Luther Burden. Luther
Oh,
Burden.
yeah,
Luther
yeah.
Burden for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily. That's easy.
What about I think Tez,
Tez
like you were about
Johnson.
to say, Tez Johnson.
I think Tez has a
Zachariah
has an
Branch.
argument.
Zach Branch, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was quarterback for ASU? Rashada?
Jaden
We think
Rashada.
he-
I don't have.
Jaden Rashada.
He got. I think didn't he get hurt like halfway through the season? Yeah, because Drew Pine started.
Yeah, but
like,
he was
multiple
slinging
games.
it before that.
Rashada's good. He just needed.
I like
Who's doing that
Arizona's
as,
quarterback
what, freshman?
more than him.
Oh,
You know what's
Noah
funny is I
Fafita.
do think that Oregon.
Yeah.
Noah Fafita.
Oh yeah. Fafita.
Fafita?
He'll be like a top 5 or 10 quarterback of that.
He'll be up there.
I do think Quinn Ewers is probably the top rated
I do
quarterback
think
in the
Oregon-
game.
Carson
is
Beck.
going to
Carson
have
Beck has to
two
be up there too.
90 plus.
Carson
overall
Beck is
quarterbacks.
actually, he should probably be like a 90, 91 on the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I feel that.
Oh, what about Milrow? Milrow's probably going to get a high rating.
You know what? Milrow will
He'll
get a high rating.
He's gonna have a
Milrow will
pretty
get a high
solid-
rating, but it's not because of his arm, like his throw power.
I
or anything
can't
like
wait.
that. It's because of his running ability. They'll give Milrow like 95.
His throw
speed
power
or
is going to
something
be
like
pretty
that.
high, though. His throw accuracy
It will
is
be
gonna
terrible.
Yeah.
They'll
His
give
throw
him the Lamar Jackson treatment that Madden.
I was about to say. So hear me out, right? DeBoer goes to Alabama. All right, he's there.
Right.
Milrow stays. Are we going to have like Milrow's Lamar Jackson season?
You know what?
Like,
It's crazy.
this
Is
year.
Eventually.
I don't think Milrow. If Saban was coming back, I think Milrow would have like a Heisman type season. With DeBoer, I think DeBoer is going to push hard for Julian Sayin to get it.
To start?
No, because I think Julian Sayin was in my opinion was the best quarterback in the class last year and wasn't even close. I could see if Milrow
Isn't he a Buckeye now?
Wait. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
mind.
Sayin's a
not there anymore.
Buckeye.
Right.
Yeah, never mind. I thought Sayin was still there.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
No.
But no, the other guy that he brought in from Washington, who he kicked, evidently he kicked Sayin out for this kid over at Washington.
I don't believe
And
you.
Washington
Oh,
didn't
Will
have
Rogers?
anybody like that.
he was a 4-star recruit. He was a 4-star
No.
quarterback. I think he was top 10 in the class.
No.
he had that Mississippi
No.
State quarterback, didn't he?
Will Rogers.
Yes,
Yeah.
he had Will Rogers, but then Rogers, after talking to Finch, he came back.
When you have a quarterback that's there who was
And
in a
Washington
system-
does not recruit, so I'm telling you right now, they did not have a.
He brought in the transfer from Washington, who Alabama fans are hyping up like the next Jesus. But no, I think when you have like a situation like that where you have a quarterback that's been there for a few years under one coach, that coach leaves and you have a new coach come in. I think if for instance, if we see one game where Milrow struggles like he did against Texas and Michigan this season, I wouldn't be surprised if DeBoer pulls him and puts in somebody else.
I would, because I've seen Michael Penix play terrible and he doesn't get pulled.
I know, but Michael Penix was, way better than Milrow last season.
Because of the system that he was in.
Just a quick disclaimer before this ends.
Yeah.
I have to give Carson Barnhart some grace because I was really hard on him during that Penn State game, but I just saw Chop Robinson run a 4.40, and now I understand.
Now you're just like I totally understand.
Right.
You are forgiven.
Scott Robinson ran a 4.4.
440.
4.40, bro. He is going to absolutely murder
Lucas,
someone.
get you a Chop
I saw something,
Robinson
he's like-
Madden NFL Combine in Mutt. Because we need that.
So, yeah, that's ridiculous. Brandon Dorless ran a 4.85 at
Crazy.
D tackle.
These guys are huge
fast as hell.
running these numbers.
Have any of you ever been to the combine?
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay, I went one year. it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Genuinely terrifying. These
Yeah.
D linemen getting up and running like sub 5 second 40-yard dashes.
Crazy.
Like you see the wide receivers and stuff do it. And yeah, they're tall, but they're not as like big and built. Watching
probably
a
went
grown
wild.
man
Who was the receiver that just broke it last year?
run that, terrifying.
The broke the record for the fastest 40 time.
No, it's John Ross from back in 2017.
No, somebody broke his record.
No, I
last
didn't.
year.
Yeah,
No, I
he
didn't.
did. It was he plays for
The Raiders.
Was it?
No,
No.
no, it's still John Ross.
No, it's not.
No.
Dude, John Ross's record got broken last year at the combine.
yeah, it did.
It was some
it
small
Thornton?
school receiver.
Was it Thornton, the wide receiver?
Thornton,
for the,
yes, Thornton.
No, it
Thornton
wasn't.
beat him.
He was a 4.2. He was a 4.27. I remember. I literally
Maybe-
was watching a video about it.
Hold on a minute, because I know it was somebody from a smaller school. That's not like
It's still John Ross.
It's still
I'm looking
John
it up
Ross.
right now.
John
It's
Ross
still
ran a
John Ross.
4.22.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
so. They,
Yeah.
I swore,
4.22.
me and Lucas, didn't you
Nope.
remember somebody broke it and they were talking about it? Like the
It
dude
was probably
fast?
it was probably a hand time, and that's why it
This was
broken.
one day ago. John Ross still has the fastest 40 time at 4.22.
It was probably his. Who? Yeah, I do remember what you were talking about, though, Ryan. I do.
You guys are both high.
No, because it wasn't his official.
That's probably what it was. It wasn't his official time, but or I don't know.
It was probably a hand time.
Let's see. Tyree or
Fastest- wait, are
Marquise Goodwin had a top 5 40 time.
Yep. Yep.
Dree Archer.
I literally was watching a video yesterday on NFL Throwback about the careers of the players who all had like the fastest times.
Why are
And,
defensive ends running 4.4s?
By the way, I know
because
that's
they're-
kind of
because
crazy.
they're-
By the way,
because they're
DJ
on
Turner had the
steroids.
fastest 40 time last season. He ran a 4.26.
That's crazy.
Trevin
Yeah, I think-
Wallace from Kentucky ran a 4.5 today.
Yep.
And I thought because Javante Jean Baptiste today, for Notre Dame, he ran a 4.6 like flat.
I mean,
I
Amari
thought that was
Barno.
pretty fast.
I mean, Amari Barno, was it last year for Virginia Tech? He ran like a 4.3 or something. He was like, the
I
fastest
love,
he's
bro.
been.
I love using Amari Barno in Madden. He is so his speed rating is insane.
Guys, they
Yep.
just
Well, I guess we're
Just gotta-
done here.
yeah, we kind of are.
Might as well.
I do have a fun fact. I
Okay.
do have a fun fact about the SEC and the new Madden game coming out.
Okay.
And Mark Stoops is the only head football coach in the SEC that is at the same school in this game
That he was.
than he was in the last game that was released.
Joke's on you. He's not even in the game because
Okay, well that should be it. Is there anything else that we want to say? Or is
Take
this
us out. Or wait, hold
Cool.
on. Well, we'll be back. We'll be back next week with our team specific shows. Phil be doing minute
This
with the
Sunday,
Magic
I'm doing
Sunday. Yep. And then we got Josh over here with his Monday Kentucky corner, who's been hitting it out of the park. Tuesday, me and Phil will be back at it again with the Maize Blue and Gold show. And then obviously we got Lucas on Friday with the Duck or the Quack 30, the Duck 30.
Eventually, Phil and I will start doing our
Okay,
thing.
okay. And then
Yeah.
I got the Gold Standard on Wednesday. Connor's got Saturday with the Hokies Focus. So yeah, busy week.
Cool. So, of course, for Lucas, for national champion Phil, for Josh, for Ryan, I am Connor. Top Left Box has been the Week Zero Podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks